Hey folks, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us. So we have 5 featured captures here in this video. 3 of them are from me, 2 of them are from the internet, and one of the ones from the internet includes a camera that seemed to be on an airplane, which is different and cool. This presentation starts out with a capture, which is a photograph I took almost 10 years ago, and I caught something through the sunroof of my car, so that's interesting. Um, yeah, and also the presentation ends with a quick little review because we got some feedback that there's so much to some of these presentations that you forget what was in the beginning by the time you get to the end. So afterwards, we just pop through 1 through 5 just to refresh what we covered. So check it out. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you on the other side. Thanks. So as I just mentioned there in the intro, I took this picture 9.5 years ago in the summer of 2015, and I took it by mistake. I'd had an elbow surgery. A friend checked in on me and wanted to see what it looked like post-operatively. I was in the car, took this picture, sent it to him. Uh, this picture has been in my mind ever since. 9.5 years later, it's still in my mind, and for a number of reasons, but primarily because of this. I don't know what that is, but it's right angles, and I've never seen anything in nature that has them. So fast forward to last week, and I get a screenshot from a video, and this is what I see. And to me, I see at least one right angle, and it immediately made me think of that picture from July of 2015. There it is again, and you'll see the capture that it came from right here. So that screenshot is actually this image right here, that third one from the top left. Now we're going to check it out at real distance and real speed, but before we do, I'm just going to run it and then pause it here so you can see how high up and small this thing is. So here we go in real speed. It's ridiculously difficult to see with the naked eye, even knowing where it is, right? And but I think it's fascinating that it seems to be reflective, and you saw where the sun was, so the reflection seems appropriate. Um, yeah, and like I said, that thing right there to me seems like a right angle, and it made me think of this image from years back, and I don't know what to make really of either of them, but I see the similarity, and wanted to share it with you guys. Okay, so moving on to this one, which is, I don't know what to make of this one either. This is not the original color or contrast. I changed them so you could see it a bit, and we will toggle a bit back and forth so you can see it in its natural state of the video. But this is how this came about. You see the circle, the plane enters from the right, and we're recording it. Then we zoom in and continue recording it. And then we slow down the recording here. And the next thing you know, on the top left, this pops up. I didn't see it again after that second frame it's in, and then we just let the camera roll, and there you go. We're going to take another look at this, but from a slightly backed out angle so you can get a few more frames in. And same thing, slow it down, and then all of a sudden you see it up there initially, which is tough to see, drops down again right there, still tough to see, and then it becomes more observable from that point. And you see the two next frames where it's in, and then after that, it seems to go away again. I didn't see it again after that. So yeah, after that most pronounced one, it's gone. And this is that most pronounced frame, and then here it is again with that different contrast, so you can see it a little better. A little more detail comes out. Here it is in real speed. I want to point out a couple things about this before we move on to the next one, which is or these things. These things are periodically popping up in the footage, and they're not just nonsense throwaway things. I've seen these many times before, and they're really fast. I don't know what they are, but they are in and out around aircraft. I've recorded them around orbs. I saw them in that 2.5 minute NHI video where that thing reacted to me. I mean, these are not camera artifacts and should not be discarded from the equation. Okay, moving on. This is battlefield footage I saw, which was purported to be from 2013, and I thought I saw some things, so I screen recorded it and scrubbed through to see, and this is the slowed footage of what caught my eye. This is largely self-explanatory, and you can make of it what you will, but I do want to point this out. This is very common with this white with the two black spikes coming out of it. I don't know what it is, but we see it constantly. The other thing we see quite a bit is this kind of splitting, and I don't know what to make of that either, but again, it's consistent, so I'm just pointing it out because it's not the first time we've seen it. We see it quite often with these white orbs. I've mentioned before I don't like, featuring footage in conflict zones and battle zones because primarily it's sad and I don't like death, but also because the sky is full of stuff, so it's really tough to discern what's happening up there. Here it is in real speed. And the reason I'm featuring this footage, despite what I just said about conflict zones, um, is the fact that we've seen this exact same thing in zones that are peaceful. They're not battlefields, and we see the same presentation, the same behavior, the same accelerated speed, the same splitting, all the same things. And it's for that reason that I'm not at liberty to just say, oh, it's an ejecting pilot or, it's whatever. I can't just write it off because it happens to be in a conflict zone because we see it in non-conflict zones just as much. Okay, that's that. So check this out. We're starting right here because this thing splits. Look. uh, and then it comes back together, and then it splits again here for a second, and then it comes back together, and then it departs. So here it is again, backed away. That's the first one, but then it gets followed by a couple others. And with this backed away view, you can see the perspective. This is a camera that is in an airplane at altitude. And here's one of these subsequent ones, and I keep an eye on this because this thing splits like that, and then regroups, and then flutters, and then is gone. And to be clear here, I'm not making any representations as to what this is. In fact, the representation I'm making is that I don't know what this is because of all the things I record, the things that I can identify do not just blip out like this. Now, here's, the footage at original speed and original distance. And I mean, it's really tough to spot anything, but we know that that stuff was there, at least until it wasn't. The other thing I should point out is I understand that there's more going on in this footage than I've drawn your attention to. But I mean, I have to draw a line at some point. But if you guys, slow, scrub, scrutinize these videos or any other videos online for that matter, you're going to find the same things because these things are everywhere. All right, we're going to wind down with the rather benign local capture that I recorded a few days ago near my house. Like most of these things, at real speed and real distance, you don't see anything. But if you slow down, zoom in, then all of a sudden you reveal this whole new world. All right, time for a quick recap here. So the first one we looked at was this, and I think I spotted a right angle, which is similar to the one I took a picture of in 2015. Then the second one was this thing, which is just who knows. The third one was purportedly from 2013, and it's multiple orbs in a war zone scenario. And then the fourth one was this thing, which was the camera that was inside the airplane and caught these things doing these different things. Then the final one was the one near my house in Los Angeles, which was this. All right, well, there you go. I think it was an interesting one. It's a little different. When you see things that quote unquote disappear, I mean, I'm not saying they're technically disappearing. I'm just saying they're no longer observable, you know. And when you record things that are natural, whether from the animal kingdom or just from the world, whether, you know, it's like an aircraft, a kite, a drone, an airplane, a bug, whatever, you see it come on screen and you see it go off screen. Um, you don't really see it like kind of just no longer be observable unless, you know, there's like it's in the near distance and it, you know, goes away from you. But like the things that were captured by that camera on the airplane, I got kind of right to left vibes from that, not near to far. Like maybe I'm wrong, but just my sense of it was that it was going by as opposed to going away. And so, with that in mind, it's really tough to understand how something's just like no longer viewable. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but more importantly, I'm curious to know what you guys make of it. So, please comment, share the video with people you think might enjoy it or have some input, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, folks.